Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. And just to prove that Julie and I are advocates of passive lead generation, the top request that we received this week around lead generation that was not having to be proactive was about YouTube. So today's show is called Crush It on YouTube, 8 must-post videos for real estate agents.
Are you wondering which video topics you should post to your social media sites, especially on YouTube? Well, this is all about driving real estate business to you. So we're going to break it down. You can use the same video on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, keeping your message consistently while efficiently updating all 3 platforms. But why focus on YouTube? It's because it's the second largest search engine in the world, and videos posted there are searchable on Google. That means more visibility for you. And if you're new to YouTube, check out our podcast called YouTube for Realtors as a crash course. But today we're going to give you the top 8 video topics that each and every one of you should post to generate more leads, attract sellers, and secure more listings. So first we have 4 quick critical reminders.
And remember, get the notes from today's podcast by going to harrisrealestatedaily.com. It's very simple. All you've got to do is put in your email address. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go to harrisrealestatedaily.com and drop in your email address. Then a system will then email you asking that you actually want the newsletter. Say yes, and then you're off to the races. And our beautifully reformatted newsletter will be sent to you every single day, along with all of our show notes and some specific exclusive content just for newsletter subscribers. Again, it's free, harrisrealestatedaily.com.
All right, so first, 4 quick reminders before filming, and then we're going to give you the top 8 YouTube videos that generate results. Number 1, get permission. When filming any property, whether it's your listing or another agent's, always have written permission to film.
Now, technically, you don't need permission to film if you're standing on a public street or whatever, but you should ask anyway, especially if you're doing it in a neighborhood, because some people obviously are going to be very sensitive to that. And we made that mistake once. We sent one of our assistants out to film take pictures of a listing that one of our buyer's agents just sold, and they took the picture of the wrong house. It was the exact same model match for the house, but it was the wrong address, and you could barely even see the address.
Yeah.
But the owner of the house realized it was her house and not, and it was literally identical. And we had to apologize, but she was super mad. So be very careful, even though the picture was taken from the public street and legally we could have used it. You don't want to be pushing the boundaries like that, because obviously, that'll work against you over time.
So get permission in an email or a text, something that shows that you should be there. All right, number 2, always include a call to action, otherwise known as a CTA. Every video should offer something valuable and finish with a CTA. Tell the viewers what to do next, whether that's calling, texting, leaving a comment, or scheduling an appointment. Ideally, scheduling an appointment.
Everyone knows what a CTA is. You listen to our podcast. We do CTAs all the time. You watch videos. Everyone ends with, please like or subscribe. That's just a call to action. But yours needs to be more personalized. You could just basically listen, if you'd like a free CMA on your home, just text me, give you a real cell phone number, and just simply text what your address is. You could even make it even more complicated. So you could send them back a real brief questionnaire asking, for example, their name and their address, any improvements they made to the house, since they've owned it. And then I'd also sneak in another question. Ideally, how soon do you want this home sold? Because what you'll find oftentimes, if you get 10 requests for CMAs, if you do it like that, and we know this because we used to do this, is you'll have maybe 10% that'll say, well, I'm planning on putting my house for sale in the next 90 days.
Yep.
Get it? So
you want to know who they are.
So you could root out some actual very, very good seller leads this way.
Exactly. Number 3, don't fall into analysis paralysis. No fancy gear required. You don't need expensive equipment. Start with your iPhone or iMovie. Done is better than perfect. No analysis paralysis for you. And then number 4, use ChatGPT to help you write your video scripts. That's an incredible tool. We did a whole podcast on that yesterday for brainstorming and drafting compelling scripts. Ask it to help create a structure or suggest wording for your topics so you don't struggle with what to say.
The main thing when you're doing titles for anything, and this is one thing that Julie and I spend probably way too much time on are the titles to our podcast, because the titles of the podcasts are what you guys will pay attention to or you won't. So use ChatGPT, ask it for 10 suggestions, and then obviously ask it what it thinks is the best one of the 10 it came up with, and ask it to explain why it thinks it's the best, and it will. It's very, very powerful. Now, before Julie gets to the next little stitch of this, I'm going to give you guys a suggestion. Go to ChatGPT and use it as your research assistant, and ask it for its suggestions based on what prospective sellers, let's just make it real specific. What would be the top 10 video ideas that you have for me for sellers that are thinking about selling their homes in, XYZ neighborhood in, Columbus, Ohio, 43085? You can really, really drill down, tell it to research it. You have to tell it to use information it finds on, please spend time researching this. Use as many different websites, take as much time as you need to, and tell me what the top 10 video ideas are that prospective sellers in this particular area would be interested in watching. Give me some ideas. And then it's going to give you ideas. And then you're going to say, now I want you to write me 5 bullet points that I need to be including in this video when I'm creating this video. So it's going to tell you what its research has shown is going to be what will get viewed the most. And then it's going to tell you what to say. You could even take it to the next level and ask it to write an actual script for you as to what you should say word by word. Now, for those of you guys want to go to advanced player level, there are soon to be AI agents that are going to be around that are going to then be able to deliver the script in your voice. So you could ask AI to write you the script, and then you could say, okay, go ahead and record the script in my voice, and it will actually produce an actual audio of you, the AI version of you reading the script. It won't be distinguishable from your voice, and it won't, no one watching it or listening to it will know that it's actually AI reading a script. It'll be just like essentially first person, like you guys would want it to sound like. That is the technology that's at your fingertips. And most of this, what I just told you, is absolutely free. So before you start creating videos, don't waste a lot of time trying to figure out what you should be doing videos on. Go and have AI be your, masterclass research assistant. And you can also do this yourself. Go to Google or go to either Google or YouTube, and put in keywords as if you are a prospective seller in your particular neighborhood, and see what videos have the most views that are being put up by maybe it's your competitor. And then you can tell AI to use that video to create an outline that's fresh content for you, and then go about doing your own market research. But either way, don't waste your time trying to figure out what viewers want to watch. Just give them what they're already watching.
Yeah, and keep it super local. That's a good way to do that, because it may be different where you live than where we live. So use your AI assistant. What you were just rattling off is a research assistant, a content editor, a script writer, and a marketing assistant. So really what we've talked about in the top half of this podcast is the complete excuse and objection elimination for all of you who have been resisting doing this.
Well, so let's give them the 8 YouTube videos that they should be creating. But in addition to some of these thoughts, just let your brain go. Maybe you're going to do a video every single week that's going to be a market update. And again, this is all stuff you could delegate to ChatGPT to do for you. And there is going to be, there already is, but I'm not frankly happy enough with the results yet to tell you guys about it. But there is going to be AI that's going to be able to simulate you, an AI version of, Bob, actually reading the AI script that the AI obviously wrote, and in your voice, in your likeness, and it's going to be indistinguishable from, had you actually sat in front of, well, hell, it'll probably be better than had you actually sat in front of the camera yourself. You understanding what I'm saying here? So we are right on the edge of making it. So all of you are going to be massive content producers. We're going to do whatever it takes to be on the leading edge of this information for you, so we can coach and train you guys to build momentum around this and not have to, frankly, move you away from what the real work of real estate is, which is having meaningful conversations with folks that have watched your videos who are now ready to go to the next level and actually choose a house to buy or maybe list with you.
Exactly. So what are the top 8 realtor videos that we know do generate results? Number 1, market updates. Tim just mentioned that. You can do them monthly or weekly. Maybe you do a Monday market update. These should break down market data by price range, zip code, or neighborhood. Discuss list to sell price ratios, days on the market, and trends. Most realtor boards send monthly reports, or your AI can pull them out and do it itself, and graphs. You can use these in your videos. Don't forget to post the video on all of your social channels. You could call this the what's hot and what's not report. absolutely, especially coming up sellers, watch that like crazy because they're trying to gauge, is this the right time to sell my house?
If you have a neighborhood directory, if you're following our coaching or training from a week or so ago and building a neighborhood directory, get their emails, load their emails into, say, Facebook, for example, and then every month or week when you come out with the new market update video, you can market the video directly to them on social. So then you're constantly barraging them with high value content, which is going to make it so that they at least consider you when it comes to doing a real estate transaction.
Very well said. All right, number 2, video walkthroughs of current listings, yours or other agents. Whether it's yours or somebody else's, the video walkthroughs are crucial. They show potential buyers the property. They help generate leads. Remember, video is superior to outdated slideshows. If you don't have listings, ask your broker which homes need extra marketing or exposure.
There are a lot of agents that are building momentum on YouTube about creating videos of listings that aren't theirs.
Yeah, it's completely fine. Just, again, get permission and you can do that. It doesn't even have to be your own brokerage listing.
Yeah, you can do, my favorite new listing of this week, or, whatever it is, something. And you can also, you're about to talk about this, but you could also do tours of the communities, tours of the school. Again, ask for permission.
Yep.
Don't be on the wrong end of that one.
Exactly. Number 3, drone footage of listings. Highlight the property and the surrounding neighborhood amenities. Include visuals of parks, pools, walking trails, or clubhouses to show what makes the area special. I still can't get that Big Sur video out of my head.
Yeah, we talked about in the podcast. Actually, I was just thinking about that. We talked about this in the podcast the other day. I'll give you guys a little, if you want a little bit of a
mind candy.
Yeah, exactly. Go to YouTube and research. You can go to Realtor.com and research a home for sale that's 54 acres right on the coast of Big Sur, California. It's listed for $20 million. And there's a guy, it wasn't even his listing, who created a video.
And there was some drone footage in that too.
There was. But just go and watch the video and you're going to see something. It's completely mind-blowing that the guy who built the property and essentially made the thing into what it is. He bought it when he was like 26 or something, and he passed away in his 80s.
The original purchase that he kept on adding on to. Right?
Yeah. So this property, when you watch this is his lifelong art project, and it is bonkers how incredible it is. Not to mention the fact that it's literally on the coast of Big Sur, which is, if you've never been there, one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth for sure.
Absolutely. If I was licensed in California and I knew that they was giving permission to do those videos, just to be able to do that is just. It's so amazing from a housing connoisseur standpoint.
Think about this. Like, say you're a new agent.
Yeah.
And you're trying to break into the luxury market. And let's say, with permission, you're going to start doing video walkthroughs of you, walking through the house and talking about it. Maybe it's just you and your iPhone, or you have somebody that's, following you around. There are lots of really cool AI software programs where you can then load that video in, and it will make the video more watchable. It'll produce it. So maybe there's some words on it. Maybe part of the video goes fast, part of the video goes slow.
Music.
All these things, right? But the main thing is you could start building a whole mountain of content around you having provided virtual tours of these homes in this particular neighborhood. Now, here's a little, secret for all of you. And a lot of the country where there's more expensive homes, those expensive homes, 50% of the time are bought by folks that are moving from out of town or moving from across town. And so everyone starts their home search on the internet, right? That's where people initially decide where do they want to live. They're on YouTube. They're watching your videos. They're seeing you've done 20 or 30 different videos of this particular neighborhood they want to live in. They're at least going to call you, aren't they? Even if you weren't the listing agent on any of them.
Yeah, and even if they don't like that particular property, you just did this thing called lead generation.
Right.
Okay, number 4, open house previews. Tease your upcoming open house in a quick video and share it across all platforms. Email it to your database, and if you don't have your own listings, again, borrow one from your colleague to help generate leads. Number 5, new construction model home tours. Showcase model homes from new construction communities, highlighting what makes them unique. Price ranges, amenities, production timelines, and available spec homes. This is an excellent opportunity to build relationships with builders and become a local new construction expert. You can even interview different builders to find out what makes their community perfect. What's the best thing about this particular model? You can use resources like Google or newhomesource.com to find those new communities. I'm doing this weekly with coaching clients, okay? And you can be the go-to agent for new builds.
If you're in a market where there is a lot of new construction, and even if there are other agents that try to position themselves as the new construction expert, I'm here to tell you, new construction is going to dominate most of the major markets in the United States for some time to come. you absolutely positively want to become known as the new construction expert in your community, because what are you going to get when you are that person? You're going to get all the folks that have homes to sell that are moving up almost always to the new construction. So you're going to get a steady stream of usually well-heeled buyers, and there are listings that usually have a ton of equity, and you know they're going to be in contract on the new construction home that you sold to them. That means they're going to be motivated to price their house correctly.
These are all good things.
These are all good things. And this is just, you guys, so just think bigger and realize, as we've been saying every single day, and I know this is the time of year, especially this year, where people are feeling a little bit depressed. They're feeling not necessarily as ambitious or optimistic as they should. Maybe a lot of people emotionally have checked out and are saying they're just going to basically wait till the new year to turn over and they're going to fire up the engines again. That's an enormous mistake, because what's going to happen is you're going to have to build momentum starting in January, and you're not going to really start getting any benefit from the momentum you built until the late spring. Do it now. Take some of these ideas that we're giving you during this normally slower time of year and start building momentum into the year. Be proactive with your approach, but definitely enhance it with some of these passive lead generation ideas that we're giving you on this podcast. Julie?
Yes, and most of what we've talked about this entire podcast is pretty fun, by the way.
Yeah, it should be.
In terms of things to be doing in real estate. All right, number 6, educational or informational videos. Teach your audience something. Examples include explaining mortgage rate buydowns, like the podcast we did yesterday, answering whether new construction suits them, outlining the mortgage application process, or sharing tips on staging homes. If you're part of our coaching programs, you have an endless supply of these topics.
Well, a lot of these guys are going to become ethical real estate professional designees. They're going to become agents. They're going to join that movement that we're starting. So when you guys are ethical real estate professional agents, that's going to be something else you can actually talk a lot about on your social media and do videos about. Because being an ethical real estate professional is a unique trademark designation, and that you will be able to, easily differentiate yourself from all the other agents that are not ethical real estate professionals, because they have not joined the movement or do not have the designation. If I were you, I'd be creating a lot of reasons why you're an ethical real estate professional. Show them the pledge. Show them the various, USPs that you're offering as an EREP. If you want to learn more about EREP, go to ethicalrealestateprofessional.com. That website went live the other day. We're not ready to take new members, and that's not going to start maybe for about another month. And if you want to be on the list to be one of the founding members of Ethical Real Estate Professional, please text the word BUYER, B-U-Y-E-R, to 47372. Text the word BUYER, B-U-Y-E-R, to 47372. Do that right away. And when we launch the program, hopefully sooner than later, I know I've been trying to do this the last 90 days, but we're going to get this really right for all of you, that you will be one of the founding members. On the first off the first webinar, we're going to allow 100 agents to join. Then we're going to close the program again. Julie and I are going to be coaching this program personally. So you're going to be in a semi-private coaching group session with Julie and I for the first 90 days. So all wins for you, especially because you're going to have a lot of education motivation leading into the new year. All right, Julie, next point. So remember, text the word BUYER, B-U-Y-E-R, to 47372.
All right, we got 2 more. Number 7, how to sell without a realtor. Oh, a for sale by owner? Well, outline the process for homeowners, what they would have to go through if they were selling without you. Cover things like pre-qualifying buyers, staging, transaction coordination, and liabilities. This is a perfect lead generator for sale by owner sellers who might realize they need your expertise after all.
And remember, we did a ton of research and we've shared it with you about the fact that most FSBOs sell for significantly less than if the property were listed. So most FSBOs will argue that they're wanting to save the commission, but what ends up happening is they end up netting far less than even what the commission would have been. Just that's the nature of it. This is really modern research. This isn't based on something from 100 years ago. And all that we've talked about in previous podcasts. It's also in Premier Coaching. And you can learn more about Premier Coaching, obviously, just by going to premiercoaching.com. But yeah, that's great information to share with the prospective FSBO. So Julie, the last point number 8.
Last but not least, why good homes sometimes expire without selling.
Actually, the script is why sometimes the best homes don't sell.
So many great listings don't sell the first time. Make a video explaining the reasons. You can refer to our podcast. We've done several that state it's not always or only about the price. It could be bad marketing, bad timing. Offer your services to help expired listings succeed the second or third time around. Of course, with the call to action to call you. All right, homework. Create a video schedule and stick to it. Remember that consistency is critical. Every video should have a call to action, and always check your comments to get in touch with viewers and schedule appointments. For accountability and support, of course, you're going to sign up if you haven't already to Premier Coaching at premiercoaching.com and get started for free today. We have discussions virtually every day with our sessions with all of your coaches about who's making videos, what's the content that you're doing, what are the kinds of scripts you're using, and what are the results you're getting. So be surrounded by people who support you.
But I do want to end with this, and this is just basically a little reminder. So I did an interview with Lance Kenmore.
Yes.
One of the most successful agents in the United States, and he has been for, 20 years.
Yes.
And we started coaching him like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe one thing has to do with the other. You guys can draw your own conclusions. But he's sold something like 4,000 or 5,000 houses. So he was telling me about a TikTok video he made. And, he was not necessarily, that was a little out of his wheelhouse, and he was proud of himself. But the TikTok video went, air quoting here, viral, and it's getting a lot of views and all the rest of it. And this is, you guys can listen to this podcast I did with him. It was an interview. It was maybe a month ago. And so I'm asking him, whoa, that's great. Tell us about the video. And he talked about it. And he was real enthusiastic about it. I said, so what kind of leads did you get from that video? Well, you've got 3 buyers. We sold 3 homes to 3 buyers. And I said, well, that's great. So did those buyers have any other connection to you? And then he paused, and it was so funny. Then he goes, well, 2 of them were past clients. And the third was like a referral from another past client or someone they knew from church or something like that. So then I said to him, so Lance, wouldn't you have gotten that business anyway and a lot more business faster had you just called them? Had you just done something proactive, and maybe if you still wanted to do the video, it would enhance the proactive lead generation. You guys seeing the difference? Had he actually, and this was his big epiphany from the, you guys should definitely watch it on YouTube because it's funny because his
crickets.
face, the crickets, he was like, yes, you're right. And I said, so Lance, if you really wanted to make your business take off, and if you really wanted to pick up 10 listings, 20 listings, an extra 100 transactions in the next year, what would be the one thing that you know for damn sure you would be doing that you're not doing? And he didn't even blink. And I have news for you. It wasn't making videos. It wasn't doing TikToks. It wasn't working on his brand or his logo. He said, I'd pick up the phone. That's always going to be the answer, no matter how technologically advanced the world gets and how much AI. But the more people lean into AI, the more people lean into technology, the more special direct communication will be. Hopefully you guys all are realizing that. So yes, all of this stuff has a huge place in your lives. It does ours. We're communicating with you through a digital format right now, aren't we? But you have to do the digital. You have to do the passive. You have to do all the branding and the marketing and the advertising as an enhancement to your proactive lead generation. That's the secret sauce.
100%. If you have to choose what you're doing this very second, it is pick up the phone.
Yeah, like Lance said, I know what I do. Are you doing it, Lance? Well, I'm not doing enough of it. So then I had Lance's coach watch that interview, and then Lance's coach changed his coaching to be more, drilled down on holding him accountable to doing more proactive lead generation. And he's going to get great results from it. So it's just so fascinating that the answer is so obvious. And I get it. It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's not, talking about this stuff is easy. Talking about how to actually pick up the phone and have conversations with the people that are occasionally grumpy, that occasionally don't want to talk to you. I get it why you don't want to do the work, but guess what? That's the work that's going to get you paid the fastest. It is. That's how you're going to make yourself a legend. You can make yourself famous, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make any money. Actually pick up the phone, do the real work, but enhance it with some of the things we talked about today. Hopefully that resonates with all of you, and you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.